international MMA channel. This is the one and only Hector G. Gomez. Thank you guys for following. Got a couple views and I got a couple people disagreeing with my predictions for UFC 171, Robbie Lawler versus Johnny Hendricks, and kind of wanted to break down a little bit of what I meant about Johnny Hendricks, and that a lot of people have been IMing me on Facebook and just leaving me messages thinking that I have chosen the wrong fighter and should really look at Johnny Hendricks as kind of just sweeping this fight away from Robbie Lawler. So I wanted to explain a little more of why I chose Robbie Lawler, and it's nothing against Johnny Hendricks, but it's more of what I see as an advantage that Robbie Lawler has that Johnny Hendricks doesn't, and that is simply that during the last fight with GSP, Johnny Hendricks was very concerned about the critics thinking of what his performance would be and if he was really a true welterweight champion and if he can go into those deep rounds. And it still bothered him that, he, of course, everybody agreed that he won that fight, but the judges didn't think of it that way, and he kind of felt robbed, and rightfully so. He should have felt robbed. But the whole thing with this is that he's really trying to prove everything to everyone except himself. And I think that's the issue that he's going to have trying to fight a fighter like Robbie Lawler. Robbie Lawler does not want to really fight a championship fight, but more really fight just because he likes to fight. And he believes that he has that momentum to do so. And I think that's very more of a dangerous opponent for Johnny Hendricks and GSP, because GSP, we all know that he's going to take you into the deep rounds. He's going to wrestle you out. He's going to outstrike you and really just get away and never pull that trigger that like a Carlos Condit has, I kind of call GSP the Mayweather of the UFC, where he's only going to go out with stylistic points and just kind of give the points all to the judges. And I personally don't like fights like that. Johnny Hendricks has kind of done the same with his last appearance, where he blamed that he really didn't give that 110% towards knocking out GSP because he was trying to show everybody that he can be an all 5-round fighter. And that's kind of a bullshit excuse for me. And he knows this as well, and he's going to try to look for the knockout, but at the same time, he wants to still prove that he's this legitimate welterweight contender that can do the 5 rounds. And Robbie Lawler is not looking. Robbie Lawler is looking to hurt you, get out, and get done. And that's one of the most things that he really has to be careful with a fighter like Robbie Lawler. Robbie Lawler has no real ambition of showing everybody that he's a great fighter and that he can go the 5 rounds and he can go into those championship fights. Robbie Lawler is there to basically fight the best and get out and go home and then prepare for the next fight. He's not looking to be a champion. He's looking to be the great fighter in that weight division, and if it happens to be with the championship belt, that's better for him. But he's one of these people I really see that he does not care if he wants to be the champion or not. He just wants to go out and fight and give great fights and retire as probably trying to be one of the greatest welterweight fighters in the UFC. So 171 is very exciting, very explosive because of this reason. The other thing I wanted to say is that this Friday, Bellator is going to have their open heavyweight tournament. The rest of the fights are good, but the one that you really should focus on is going to be Lavar Johnson versus Ryan Martinez. I have actually had the pleasure of meeting these two guys. I met Lavar Johnson one time at the Tachi Palace fights, and another time at the Bellator fights in Visalia, California. I had the privilege of interviewing Ryan Martinez via Skype for another organization, and the guy has an empowering and a great story behind his life. And it's kind of one of these people that it's easy to go ahead and root for this guy and only want the best from these kind of fighters. And not only that, they're spectacular fighters, and they're going to give one hell of a stand-up match, because both of them don't want to go take it to the ground. Both of them want to fight, and that's going to be the best thing about this matchup. So it's the co-main event. The whole Bellator thing starts at 6 p.m. in the West or Pacific. It's on Spike, and I really recommend you guys start watching it because there is a huge momentum coming with Bellator. And we also have the Tachi kid, Robbie Martinez, is going to be fighting out of there very soon for the featherweight division. So this is a very exciting and very explosive time for Bellator, and it's rising up, and it's going a lot faster than people really thought, and gives them props to. So watch Bellator, co-main event. It's going to be the fight of the night for me. Ryan Martinez versus Lavar Johnson. One of these guys is going to get knocked out. That's a guarantee. The other thing I wanted to say is we're working on making new shows and bringing more videos for you guys. That includes more interviews, and we're looking for sponsors and marketing things to further expand what International MMA Channel is and what it can be potentially. You can go ahead and follow us on Twitter. Things should be right in below. You can go ahead and check us out there. The Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. Like us, subscribe to us, and follow us. Also, if you're a fighter and you're looking to have your story and you think that you have something to share with us and we would love to sit down and talk to you, then go ahead and do so. And you can actually email us at internationalmmachannel@gmail.com. This is Hector from International MMA Channel, wishing everybody good night, good fights, watch Bellator, and stay tuned for UFC 171 post-fight. I'll give you guys a breakdown of what I thought about the fights.